My name is Tim Nies, and I'm a Defense Space Act lawyer. I wanted to talk a little bit today about what you should do when you're injured and you're still overseas. So say if you're in Erbil and you're injured, what you should do before returning home. First, and the most important thing is make sure you report your injury right away. There are forms that you could file, a notice of injury, and if you contact me, I could point you in the right direction. But at a minimum, even email your supervisor of the injury. You have 30 days to report an injury to your supervisor. So make sure that you email them and ask for them. They should provide you with the form, a notice of injury. They should also fill out a notice of injury form. That's the first thing. Second thing is that make sure you document the injury overseas at the medical clinic on base. And make sure you leave, say if it is Iraq, make sure you leave with the copy of your medical records. You should be telling the provider over there, it might be a physician's assistant, it might be a medical doctor, it could be a medic. Make sure you're telling them of all the problems you're having from an incident. So say if you fell off a vehicle and you're having low back pain, but you're also having some pain to a much lesser degree, say to your shoulder, but again, the back is the major problem. Make sure you're reporting all the injuries to that provider and that they put them down on the medical records. Those may be useful later on if the insurance company is denying, say, a shoulder problem because it wasn't documented early on. So leave with the medical records. Also, print up all of your wage records. It's important to show exactly how much you earned in the 52 weeks prior to the date of injury, but even going back further would be helpful. A lot of times when contractors are sent home, they lose access to be able to print off documents they need, in particular wage records. And I do request them from the insurance company, and if they hired a lawyer from them, but I normally don't get them in time. And I like having those for when I fill out the forms initiating the claim. It's called the Notice of Claim. It's called the LS-203. So send those to your own personal email. If you have a company email you've been using, you will probably lose access to that as well. So any emails that you have, personal emails, make sure you send them to yourself to another email that you have. I'm not talking about work-related emails or confidential emails. I'm talking about wage records, incident reports, those type of things. Next is if another worker witnessed the incident, say a fall from a vehicle, make sure you leave with their full names, telephone number, and email. We may need to contact them later if your employer or the insurance company is denying the incident, and I may need to take the deposition. This past week I took 2 depositions of witnesses for a case where a client was injured in Iraq. One of the instances, one of the witnesses witnessed the actual incident. The other one was there for the effects of the injuries afterwards. So sometimes you might lose contact with these people, and getting their information early on is helpful. Next is look for a doctor close to where you live. So say if you have a back injury, look for like an orthopedic surgeon or a neurosurgeon close to where you live. Look for a good doctor. You don't need to look up workers' compensation doctor or workers' compensation orthopedic surgeon, because you get to choose the physician of your choice. The insurance company doesn't get to pick. So make sure you take the time before leaving. If you have downtime, look for very well qualified, board certified doctors. So again, if it's a back injury, a spine orthopedic doctor. If it's a shoulder injury, look for it's normally a sports medicine or orthopedic surgeon that specializes in shoulders. If it's a hip injury or a leg injury, look for orthopedic surgeons that deal with that. Again, Look for board certified, look for fellowship trained or some additional training doctors get. Look for a doctor that's been practicing for a while. So you can even start making some calls to them overseas, maybe to get an appointment when you come back. If you're in pain and discomfort when you come back, sure, you could go to a hospital or go to an urgent care center, because sometimes it takes a couple weeks to get an appointment with these doctors. It's not like these orthopedic doctors, foot, spine, whatever type doctor we're talking about. It's hard to get an appointment as soon as you come back. A lot of times it may be weeks or even a month or two before you can get in to see such a doctor. So start looking overseas for at least setting an appointment back for when you get home. It will be important that the doctor that you go to understands your nature of your work. So you should definitely talk to a lawyer, whether it's me or any DBA lawyer. Talk to that lawyer before having a first appointment with the doctor. There are some other forms that would be useful, Department of Labor forms, that it would be useful for that doctor to fill out and give to you. It'll help you get paid quicker. Now, the other thing is, there's the things you should do. Things you shouldn't do is right away, these insurance companies tend to call you right away. Sometimes when you're still over there, say if you're in Erbil, say, that you'll get a call for a recorded statement with an insurance company representative. They're not mandatory. Sometimes I allow them, but I'll be in a recorded statement. Or sometimes they'll send a form for you to fill out. It's very important that you talk to a lawyer, and it doesn't cost you anything, say, to talk to me. It's another subject I'm not going to go into in this email in very detail, but it costs you nothing to reach out to a lawyer about your claim. So a lot of things could be said that you may not realize could damage a claim in a recorded statement. And it's good to be prepared for those, or good to have a lawyer on it. Or if you're filling out a questionnaire you might get in an email from an insurance representative, it's good to have a lawyer to go over those questions. Those are things you should not do. For more information, you may visit my site, which is defensebasactlawyers.com, or give me a call to talk. And again, it will be best if you call and we can schedule a call, whether it's on the phone or through WhatsApp or FaceTime, before you actually leave, to make sure you have everything that you need to put your claim into a good position. And so you're paid as quickly as possible when your pay from your employer stops when you return home. Again, for more information, the website is defensebasactlawyers.com, and my name is Tim Nies. Thank you.